So if you guys saw my last video, you probably saw me struggling through a full 18-hole round, throwing nothing but gateway discs. Now, if there's one thing I did learn from that video, is that gateway has a few pretty good molds.
There's 3 keys to disc golf: driving, approaching, and putting. You need all 3 to do this disc sport.
So I grabbed a few of the molds that I really enjoyed throwing, brought them out to the field here, and we're gonna test these out a little bit further. We got the Ether, which is a 12.6 -1.2 distance driver that I really enjoyed yesterday. Threw some bombs with this 171 ketchup Ether. And then we got the Mustard missile as well. We also have the Realm, we got the Cobalt plastic, and we have the NXT Super Glow. This is gonna be a little bit more stable, kind of just your traditional 12.5 -1.3. The Cobalt, although still a 12.5 -1.3, a lot more pop, and you can just tell based on the dome and kind of the feel of the plastic, this is gonna be a bomber. Also 171, so we're excited to really give this thing some throws and see how far this thing can go. I also have these Hemp Blend Spells. Now this is a 12.503, which I feel like is a flight number maybe you don't see very often. I was able to throw these one time on a really nice forehand during that round, and I liked how they flew. Kind of reminded me of like a Wraith. And then the 2 discs that I'm most excited about are the Spear and the Journey. Come to the realization that the -2.1 turn and fade style discs might be like my favorite flight numbers. The Spear 9.6 -2.1, the Journey 11.5.6 -2.1. We're gonna take the Spear, smack it nice and flat. Super low, but look at that thing. Basically, I feel like the Journey is just a step up from the Spear. Look at that, turn, and then just drop. So good. So I would classify the Journey as being like that super beaten Wraith, like that just perfectly seasoned Wraith, just straight out of the box. It really reminds me of my yellow Star Wraith that, if you're familiar, you know it's like the Heiser Flip, just king of discs. Up next, we got the Spell. This is one that I really want to throw on some forehands here. Yeah. Like those fly really nice. It might just be that I really enjoy the wing. Both of the Spell and the Journey seem like they're almost the same disc. The Journey might just have a little tweak to make it a little bit flippier, but they feel so close to that Wraith, that like nice low profile Wraith style like feel, which is just my favorite of all time. And so they feel so good. We're gonna try and hit this Spell on like a little flex line. Really holds that nice flex, comes out of it, beautiful. One thing that I'm realizing in my old age, or just my crippled body that makes me feel like I'm old, is that the traditional 12.5 -1.3 style overstable distance drivers, right now, I can't throw them, if I'm being completely honest. It's like, I just don't have what it takes to really get them up to the speed that they need to act how they were designed to be thrown. And that's one of the main reasons why these Ethers really excited me, because obviously the -1.2 flight number would hopefully mean they're gonna be a little bit flippier. And then if you look at this wing profile, maybe it's hard to see, but it's very different than your traditional, you know, stable to overstable distance driver. Obviously the 12.6 -1.2 flight numbers would hopefully mean that, but a lot of times I feel like a lot of distance drivers, they're just all the same. So these excite me. That was the one time that I said to throw flat and I actually like didn't throw it on a ton of hyzer, and I liked that throw better. The yellow's max weight, red 171. 171 is like my ideal weight. Really try and get a move on this one here. Yeah. That was kind of a shank, but it held so much turn. Blue Cobalt Realm, 12.5 -1.3. I'm gonna try and just absolutely smash this one. Get some turn. Oh no! I mean, that still went pretty far, but I was just hoping to get some like mid-flight, you know, turn at the top of it. Super Glow Realm. Hopefully put some Annie on this one. Oh yeah. That should be a crush. Oh, and it hit the tree, but that was gonna get out of the grass field. That was going all the way. Once again, shout out to Dave McCormick for sending over this massive box of Gateway discs. It's super fun to just try out some Frisbees that I'm completely impartial to and just have no opinion on. And it's nice to just go out there with an open mind sometime and try some new stuff. When he first reached out, he wanted to send me the Ether and the Realm. They're new distance drivers that are gonna hit the market. I feel like Gateway, if I'm being honest, I've never really heard of them putting out a distance driver that really was like that staple, you know, destroyer, if you may. So I feel like these are kind of like their hopefully successful attempt at really breaking into the market with like a good like workhorse distance driver. All right, we're gonna run through these one more time. Gonna toss a couple of them that I didn't on a forehand, but first I wanna get this spear on a nice throw with like actual good height. I would say this falls right into that CD2 Dynasty style of disc. Really nice, just flip up. Still has the stability to get left if you let it, but if you really power on it flat, it's gonna hold that drift to the right. All right, we're gonna throw the Journey on this one, but on a forehand. I feel like this disc on a forehand could be some absolutely like effortless distance. If you've tried the new Discmania DD, it's super flippy, goes super far for a distance driver, effortless. This would be like one stability notch up from that, in my opinion. Oh my gosh. Yes. These spells, I like, I don't know why the 12503 flight number seems odd to me. Why? I have no idea. But these are pleasantly surprising. Okay. Has some turn to it. That might have launched across the path. I feel like the NXT Super Glow Realm is gonna be closest thing to like just your standard overstable destroyer. Oh. That was a beauty. That was a crush too. Some solid flights out of these things, if I'm being honest. That Cobalt Realm seems a little bit squirrely. A lot of times I think when those distance drivers have that crazy pop top, if you hit them right, it's gonna be the farthest flying disc you've ever thrown. But if you're a little off, if you turn them a little bit too much, they're gonna kind of just like crash outright, which, you know, is just a control issue, I guess, in reality. So after getting these discs out in the field and really getting to actually test out the flight, the Spear and the Journey, to be honest, these might have a little trial run in the bag because these things are absolute money. I would just call them a Buzz SS on steroids. It's gonna be like that just do anything style disc, very controllable, even at this 11.5 speed for the Journey. Like one of the more controllable like distance drivers that I've ever thrown. This thing's super fun. I would love to try this in some different plastics as well. These things I think are gonna be just an absolute bomber. This 171, get it worked in, really, you know, see that full potential of like a slightly beat in distance driver. This thing's got that beautiful pop top. These go far. The Spell and the Realm, also great Frisbees, but I think the Spear, the Journey, and the Ether are gonna be the ones that I'm gonna continue to test out and really, you know, see if there's something that I wanna put in the bag and keep in the bag. Once again, huge shout out to Dave McCormick and Gateway for sending these over. Had a lot of fun testing these out. Like I was saying, it was great to get out and throw some discs that I had literally had no knowledge on. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one.
This is 500 feet pro. That's about 400 feet right there, guys. Let me show you another driving technique.